Oriire Funowo, good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are, and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I am Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, and Babalawo of Ile-Ife, Orisa. For those of you who are following the Ifa practice series of videos, this particular video on consulting Ifa and completing your Ebo that we're reviewing from July 2016 should be viewed in conjunction with the Ifa Lesson 4 on understanding Afoshe. You can link to that video in the library section of the website or access it on this Ile-Ife Orisa YouTube playlist. In the Yoruba cosmology, the universe is divided into two opposing, competing, and yet interdependent camps or forces: the benevolent supernatural powers and the malevolent supernatural powers. These two opposing groups of supernatural forces or energies, positive and negative, are in control of the universe as they strive to dominate the domains over which they have been given authority and to influence the affairs of human beings. In Odu Ogbedi, the 21st Odu Ifa says that every positive creates its balancing negative. The result of the nature of things is inevitable conflict, friction, and uncertainty in the lives of human beings. To help human beings cope with the inevitable difficulties of life, the Yoruba deity called Orunmila, also called by the name Ifa, gave to the people Ifa divination, Afoshe, the system of divination used by devotees of this spiritual tradition. In this post, Ifa will refer to the spiritual tradition and method of divination, and I will use Orunmila to refer to the deity, the Yoruba god of wisdom. The sacred oracles of Ifa, or the 256 Orisha Odu, carry the aggregated knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors going back thousands of years, or as we believe on a deeper level, going back to the very origins of creation and life. This is what we mean when we say, Ifani ki isin. Ifa is not a religion. Ifani bawo aiye shishe. Ifa is how the universe works. Ifani iwati aiye. Ifa is the nature of the universe. Ifa divination provides you, as the seeker, the devotee, a method of accessing this universal wisdom in order to solve your relationship problems, avoid difficulties and unforeseen evils, to manage your health, to conduct your business affairs, and to fulfill your destiny, and more. Most importantly, you should remember that when you go to consult Ifa, all you're doing is finding out the wishes of your own Ori, your Ori Inu, your spiritual inner head, your higher consciousness, the carrier of your destiny. The sacred oracles of Ifa can be divided into two general categories. The Odu, that's the configuration of lines and marks in the Ifa cosmology that represent a particular Orisha Odu, and the essay, the stories contained within or carried by each of those Odu. It is said that each of the Orisha Odu carries 800 stories, or essay Ifa, generating a total of 204,800 essay, or stories in the Ifa literary corpus. My mentor, Baba once said to me that each of the 256 Odus contains 360 essay, and each essay Ifa has 360 variations. Do the math, 256 times 360 times 360, and you come up with 33,177,600 essay. However, the Ifa Corpus is a living body of oral traditions, and therefore these numbers are not fixed or static, and are really intended only to reflect the expansiveness of this Ifa divination tradition. Obviously, the more of these essay the diviner, the awo, the Babalao, or the priestess knows, the more resources they have to assist the devotee with their particular concerns. Uninhibited by the passage of time, advancements in science and technology, or cultural tradition, the Ifa speak of human beings and also animals, birds, insects, cultivated and uncultivated plants as personified characters in the wisdom stories addressing every aspect of human existence and daily life. Which is why we say in Ifa, Boa, Boa, Ru'ifa Soro. Like Proverbs is how Ifa speaks. For purposes of our discussion this lesson, let us identify 7 characteristics or elements of most, if not all, of the essay Ifa. Namely, the presence of one or more awo, or diviners. They're usually named, their name is given, the one who is casting Ifa. At each essay Ifa will also say the person or character for whom Ifa was divined. It may be an Orisha, it may be a person, it may be a city, it may be an animal, an insect, or a plant, and they are also usually named. The third element would be the problem or situation that is being addressed. The fourth element would be the message of Ifa, what the Babalao said after casting to the devotee or the seeker. The fourth element would be the ebo, or sacrifice, that which must be done or given in order to move the ashe in favor of the devotee. The sixth element would be whether or not the devotee completed the ebo and made the necessary changes in attitude or behavior, often stated at the end of the particular essay. And lastly, the seventh characteristic would be that the essay Ifa may say what the final outcome was. Ifa says that the way to solve all problems is through sacrifice, although the devotee may also need to utilize specific strategies and tactics or changes in their attitudes or behaviors in some way in order to bring about the results that they seek. It is my observation that in the occasional case where a seeker, a devotee, feels that Ifa has failed them, it is generally for two main reasons, which we'll discuss here. First is the lack of patience. Unless the reading has prescribed a particular timeline for something to happen, the outcome suggested by the reading may take days, weeks, months, even years to manifest. The outcome may develop in small incremental stages, and unless the devotee is paying attention, they may not realize that the Orisha are answering their call and addressing their needs in stages. In this case, they may abandon the wisdom and spiritual energy of the divination, and as a consequence, weaken their faith in Ifa and their relationship with their Ori. I often tell my spiritual godchildren that when they consult Ifa and perform the Ebo, Orisha goes to work to reconfigure the universe to accomplish the will of their Ori. The wisdom in this is the idea of the reconfiguration of the universe. The idea of the entire universe being reconfigured to make room for your new reality puts things into perspective and helps to nurture patient perseverance. Vigilant awareness and looking for signs of change after a reading not only enables you, the devotee, to witness subtle changes that may be indicators of spiritual forces at work in your life, but it also adds the energy of your own positive expectation to the process of Ifa prescribed. In other words, your positive anticipation is a part of the divination and Ebo. The lack of such positive anticipation is an indication of lack of trust, belief, or hope, and therein acts counter to the purpose of Ifa divination and the stated wishes of the seeker, the devotee, you, to have a positive outcome. The second reason some devotees may feel that Ifa has not worked for them, is also tied to the idea of completing the Ebo. You, as a seeker or devotee of Ifa, are in the process of building relationships with sentient entities, your Ori, your Orisha, your Egun. These relationships are nurtured by the deity Orunmila, prophet of Ifa, through Ifa divination, and by the diviner who is consulting for you. Think about it. If your friend or relative gave you a gift, and if someone noticed the gift and commented on it, would you show appreciation for their observation, feel good about it, and then acknowledge that it was your dear friend or relative who gave it to you? Most people would answer yes to that question and do exactly that. And if the giver of the gift happened to overhear you stating how grateful you are that they gave you the gift, wouldn't they feel good and immediately exude strong positive energy towards you and toward the gift? Sometimes the devotee forgets that they are in the process of building a relationship with Olorun, with Ori, with Orisha, with Egun, and with the Babalawo. They may also forget that to receive guidance from Ifa divination is a gift from Orunmila. Oluranse Odu Ifa, author of Odu Ifa. Ifa states that if the person receives Ifa, and Ifa assists them in solving their problem and in accomplishing their goals, they must acknowledge to the Babalawo that Ifa has helped them, show their gratitude in measure to which they feel they have been helped and according to their means, and acknowledge to others that it was Ifa that helped them to bring about the change in their lives. These three prescriptions strengthen the relationship between devotees and the entities in the Ifa spiritual universe. Sometimes devotees forget that these three elements are also part of their reading and ebo, and in forgetting, they fail to complete the ebo. Ifa tells us that Eshu favors those who complete the ebo. So it also weakens the potential for the relationship between them and Orunmila, the keeper of the secrets of existence, the one who is also called Ifa, and Ile-Ife, the witness of fate. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ki Olodumare, Orisha, Ati Egun, Fifune ni, Itona, Imoye, Ati Opo Ire. May Olodumare, Orisha, and ancestors bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbale, peace of mind from Olodumare. Ajo Lo, Ajo Bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.